Yes, it does. And Donna, you
Okay.
can go ahead and press record. We are live streaming. We're good to go.
Awesome. All right. Well, good afternoon. I'm going to call to order the February 24th Real Estate Committee meeting. If we could start, Councilmember Polk, if you could offer the invocation.
Sure. I'll just ask us to take a moment of silence to center ourselves and reflect on our proceedings. Amen.
Thank you. Next order is approval of the minutes of January 26, 2026.
So moved.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
All right. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, the first agenda item, approval to authorize the mayor to execute a first right of refusal to the city from Charleston Museum over the Dill Tract. Let's see, can I just get a motion to put it on the floor?
Move for approval.
Second.
I know we've dealt with this tract already. Mr. Mayor, do you want to comment on it?
Yeah, all this is we've allocated the Greenbelt funds to make sure that it's permanently protected. But one of the things that I wanted to add to that funding is if the museum ever decides to sell the property, even in its restricted state, which they would have the legal right to do, that we would have the first right to purchase it. So just we asked them to add this addition to it, and they've agreed. So that's all this really is just documenting.
I know there have been a lot of pleased people to hear that we're getting involved with this and preserving it in perpetuity. So, are there any questions from the committee? All right, hearing none. If any, y'all could signify your support by saying aye.
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 Anyone in opposition? Hearing none. The item passes. All right, next item, approval to authorize the mayor to enter into on behalf of the city as purchaser, a purchase and sale agreement with EMNI LLC as seller for the acquisition of approximately 4.13 acres of property at 2080 Clements Ferry Road. Mr. Mayor, you want to talk about that, or we have somebody else?
I'll kind of give a brief background on it and then turn it over to either Melina or Magali or Julia. We're looking, as you all are aware, at buying properties, trying to be proactive in purchasing properties for fire stations and potential police stations and other facilities that we're going to need as Charleston grows. Kanawha Peninsula is one that we really need to lock down. This is part of the Macasa tract that we're already under contract for a larger tract, and and Alino, I think, can show via map, there's this 4 acres that's kind of ours, does a dumbbell around it, and they were going to be doing a car wash or something, like that on it, and they came to us and have offered, so we have the blue under contract, and the red is what we did not have, was not available. And they have come to us and asked if we would be willing to purchase or open to purchasing that, which I think makes a ton of sense, gives the property a lot more developable value. And we could, if we want to carve off a portion of it to sell down the road for whatever we don't need, we could do it on either end versus sitting right there in the middle. So that's the gist of it. I think it makes a lot of sense to do this from a strategic standpoint, both from a real estate standpoint, but also from a future use needs standpoint. Melina, anything else you want to add to it?
No, sir. Mr. Mayor, I think that you covered everything very well. One thing that we do have under this LOI as a term is that the closing of this, the EMNI parcel is kind of contingent on us closing on the Mikasa as well. The Mikasa tract is approximately 30 acres with, I want to say it's either 12 or 15 high acres, taking out these wetlands that are kind of in this area. So this EMNI parcel, the 4.13 acres, is all high ground. So it's a beautiful addition to this, the already agreement that we've been working on for Mikasa. This site we're anticipating to be used as a joint fire and police training area. So this will be one of our joint locations for those public services. We also are optimistic that there should be enough room, hopefully for some public service storage to better serve those areas out there. And with the addition of the 4.13, it, gives us a lot more opportunity for city use in this area to better serve Canehoy. Happy to answer any questions you guys might have. The purchase price is about 3.2. It's 120 days due diligence once we enter into the contract, 30 days to close after that, and the seller is paying the broker commission. So, any questions?
I see Councilmember Gregg has his hand up.
No questions. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, but just did want to take a moment to thank you all for putting this together. This is likely a tract that would have ended up in high density apartments, multifamily. So just a shout out to staff and the mayor's office for the vision for this. And it's very much needed for this area as fast as everything is growing up there. But also just the ability to grab this up as quick as you have. So thank you. I know the residents and constituents of District 1 are going to be very happy.
Well, thank you for that. Any other questions? And I realize I forgot to ask for a motion on this.
Move for
Okay.
I'll second it. I'll let Councilman Gregg.
We'll give him the glory. Well, any other questions? Hearing none. All in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any nays? All right, hearing none, the item passes. Moving on, see, approval to authorize the mayor to execute a partial termination of a permanent 20-foot easement granted by the Whitfield Company at the future West Ashley Fire Operations. This is to the Charleston water system. I see. Mr. Mayor, you want to talk about this?
I think C and D kind of go together, or maybe even C, D, and E.
CD and E, CD and E
Yeah.
all go together.
I mean-
Thank you, Mayor.
So I would
Okay.
make a motion to approve all C, D, and E together, and then I'll turn it over to Julia to explain.
Okay, we've got a motion on the floor to take C, D, and E together.
And
there
for
a second?
approval.
And for approval. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Ms. Copeland, you want to take this
Sure.
one?
Okay, so prior to purchasing this, the Whitfield Company had granted to CWS an easement that ran along here to CWS to do work on their West Ashley transmission main. Since then, they've moved it to this general area. It's going to run this way and tie into here. So we are essentially terminating the original easement area, replacing it with this new easement area. And then we're also giving them until July to use this spot here on the West Ashley site as laydown during their transmission line installation with a hard stop in July so we can start our work when we need to.
Ms. Copeland, Mr. Chairman, if I may, I do want to make sure that this is an underground. It's not going to impact the site plan that we have for the fire ops building.
That is correct. No, it's not.
Want to triple check that.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been working with Chase, who's the project manager on this one. Any other questions?
Any questions? All right. Well, doesn't look like there are any questions. Let's go ahead and vote on it. All in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposition? Hearing none, items C, D, and E all pass. All right. Approval of a Fourth Amendment to the sublease agreement between the City of Charleston and the South Carolina Aquarium related to an annual allocation from the city to the SCA Fund for capital improvements in the amount of $500,000. See, we've got anyone to take this one?
Move for approval.
I have a second.
Second.
Yes, Chairman Tinkler, this is Matt Froelich. I'll take this one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is, you said, it's a Fourth Amendment to the sublease with the South Carolina Aquarium. This is essentially to allocate $500,000 that we already approved in the 2026 state accommodation tax budget. It's really just a mechanism that allows us to send the money over to them. It's going to what in the original sublease agreement is called as the SCA fund, which is kind of a restricted fund for capital improvements to the building. There's also some language in the agreement that would allow the city, if it so chooses, to do future annual allocations through the initial term of the agreement at the discretion of city council through the budget process, but does not require it.
Any questions, Mr. Froelich? All right, well, let's go ahead and vote on it. All in favor, please signify by stating aye.
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 Any nays? All right, that passes. Thank you, Mr. Froelich. Moving on to item G, approval to authorize the mayor to execute option agreement with America Street Ventures LLC for approximately 0.264 acres identified as 76 Aiken Street.
Okay, I'll move to approve that.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right,
And
Mayor,
I'm happy to
you on
take
this
it.
one?
Ms. Copeland, you want to take that, or Mr. Mayor?
I will. So this is with the Humanities Foundation. This is two parcels that we bought from them maybe 4 or 5 years ago for roughly the same price, maybe a little bit lower. And they are now looking at buying it back from us to do approximately 50 some odd affordable housing units, which we are of course supportive of. They need this option in order to submit for an allocation for housing tax credits from the state. I was a little uncomfortable with how rushed this was. And so what we have tweaked their original proposal to give them a period of time to get their application in, see if they've been awarded the application. But rather than lock into a price, because I have a little bit of heartburn selling property for what we paid for it 4 years ago, and it's in all likelihood appreciated. We said that the price would be either this, I think it's approximately $1 million, or the appraised value, whichever is greater. And so they've agreed to that. Gives me comfort that we're being good stewards. You know, certainly that could be open depending on what their success is on getting the LIHTC credits. But it just, I think, is a fiscally sound way for us to go until we know more. So that's what this, I guess, option allows for. Anything else you want to add to it, Julia?
It's through August 13th, 2026. And just so you know, Ms. Doran is here as well to answer any additional questions, and Gianna's on as well.
So I'm supportive of giving them the time. We should know by August and then we can decide what we would want to do depending on what the situation is at that point.
All right, are there any other questions
Yeah, I just wanted to jump in.
Sure.
I think it's important to stress, thank you. I think it's important to stress that this is an option agreement, that there is a lot of efforts to be undertaken from this point forward. There were a lot of questions that came to me after this appeared on the agenda and additional conversations that may have been operated under the presumption that this effort is a lot further along than where we are as it stands right now. But it's my understanding that we are proceeding in good faith under an option agreement with that August deadline, and that we should allow the process to work its course and encourage good outcomes in the interest of the broader goals of affordable housing here. So for any members of the public who are listening, just want to stress the aspect of this that um, procedurally, indicates that it's an option subject to, as the mayor said, the pursuit of tax credits, and then also arising from conversations between the mayor and the folks over at Humanities Foundation as to the valuation of the land. And so folks thought maybe that this was something different from what's being put into consideration, and that's the point of clarification I wanted to make.
All right, thank you, Councilmember Polk. Any other questions? All right, well, hearing none, let's go ahead and vote on it. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Hearing none, item G passes. Next is authorization to accept from Charleston County Park and Recreation Commission title to parcels B1, B2, B3, and B4 located along Savannah. Well, I guess can we go ahead and get a motion to put this on the floor?
Move for approval.
Second.
All right, Ms. Copeland, I see your camera's on.
Sure, and you know what, we can take these next two together as well, because they are also together.
So I'd take
Do it.
the next two items together and for approval to be my modified motion.
We've got an amended motion. Do we have a second on that?
Second.
All right, Ms. Copeland.
Okay, so CCPRC gave to Pulte the option to use this area as construction and temporary access as they built out their neighborhood, with the instruction that at the end of the construction, they deed back these remnant parcels to a governing authority, be it the city. So we can use it for Bear Swamp Road or any of the park areas for stormwater. There are 4, and they're very small, like 0.1, 1.4, 0.015, or 0.150, as you can see here. So 2 of the 4 that we'd be accepting are actually in green space that would be in the neighborhood itself. I think it's 3 and 4 here. And they're very small, but the deal is we would accept ownership of all 4 and then in turn deed back 3 and 4 to the HOA for them to manage and keep as green space in the neighborhood. So that's what these 2 titles represent. First, Pulte or CCPRC, excuse me, because they gave them an access easement, deeding these 4 parcels to the city, and then in turn, the city returning 2 of them to the HOA to manage. Any questions?
I mean, is there any, I mean, I see we're essentially deeding back 2 of these properties. So, I mean, is just to make the transfer more direct. I mean, is there any reason why we're taking them?
Just because it's required in the access easement agreement, it has to go to the governing authority first. That's
got it. All right. Any other questions? All right. Anyone in favor, please signify by stating aye.
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 Okay.
I would like to indicate for the record a recusal due to long previous involvement that just dawned on me that I probably should recuse.
Okay. We've got a recusal. I guess this may be your first recusal, Councilmember Polk. I guess Philip, if you can kind of get with Councilmember Polk about that.
There's some forms you can fill out. We'll get with you.
Yeah, I'll do
Okay.
that. It didn't dawn on me until I was hearing an explanation. So thank you.
Perfect. I guess I think everyone voted on that one, but anyone in opposition? Hearing none, items H and I pass. Okay, now we've got a number of annexations. It looks like maybe one of these is a commercial annexation. I don't know if is Ms. Connor on by any chance?
Yes.
Yeah, it's what this well, I guess if we can go ahead and get a motion
Move for
to
approval.
put them all on the
Second.
Move for approval of all annexations. Yeah.
okay. So we got a second. All right. Well, my question was kind of is item one that's a commercial property?
Not yet, but items 1 and 2 are to be part of a PUD on Johns Island. And then the remainder of these items are single-family homes with the exception of number 8, which ties directly into what Ms. Copeland was just discussing with you, the agreement between Charleston County Parks and the Long Savannah. So this is for an extension of Bear Swamp Road and is needed to access the Long Savannah neighborhood currently under development. And you may notice one familiar applicant on
I
the
did notice
single-family
that.
homes.
It's a long time in the making. Welcome to the city, Ms. Copeland.
Thank you.
So, all right. Well, any questions about these? It all looks pretty straightforward. Great job, Ms. Connor, as always, with the West Ashley annexations. All right, hearing no questions, all in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any nays on that one? Hearing none?
Yeah, just let me, for the same reason, I believe I should recuse from 8. Sorry about that. Same reason, 8.
Okay.
And everything but 8 for me. I
Okay.
don't know how that works procedurally.
Councilmember Polk recuses on J8. Awesome. All right. Well, that's everything for this agenda. Any other business to bring before the committee? Perfect. Well, I'll consider this adjourned then. Thank y'all.